Anyway, people, welcome to episode 14 of the Dunya'S Gone Crazy podcast. As you can
Wait, we're on
see,
Woo!
episode 14?
we're in
Brother, time runs.
bro, episode 14. I've said this before. Episode 14 means 14 weeks, bro. That's more than 3 months.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, even though I didn't appear much on this season, brother, I think I'm doing well. I'm doing great than when I have gym memberships. I'm really committed to this so far. I'm surprised I lasted here.
And it's free. And it's free.
Wow.
And it's free. Oh man, speaking of gyms, I need one ASAP. Everything's so far away. I need a car first. Anyway. Let me not get sidetracked so quickly, so early into the episode. Before we move on to for the rest of the intro, let me just start by saying please subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, it really does help us because it does help us with algorithms. It helps us push forward with whatever it is that we were doing right now, um, and propel us into outer space. Like the video if you like the video, and if at any point that you overwhelmingly agree with us or disapprovingly disagree with us, then comment down below your opinions and your thoughts, and we'll be sure to read those and get back to you and argue. I'll argue with you. My friends will tell you I argue for the tiny little, like, I loved Facebook for that, like 5-10 years ago. Like Facebook, oh man, just scrolling and just arguing with people for no reason except that I wanted to and I was bored and it felt good. I was arguing with my teachers. It was amazing.
All right, before we continue,
Go on.
I think it was last week, I went over what the number 13 represents, or was it the week before?
Okay.
So I'd like to go
Yeah.
over the number 14.
Okay.
And I haven't actually read this. I just wrote it in. Let's see what it is to this week. The number 14 is used by white supremacists. Whoa.
Whoa, hold on, bro.
Okay, let's
Cool. So today I'm joined by my
Wait a
friends,
second.
my good brothers. We're gonna gloss over that. I'm joined by my friend Musin.
I didn't expect it. Hello. Yeah, talking about white supremacists. Your background's looking a bit different today, Eunice.
I know. Well, we'll get into that. I'm joined by my friend Musin today. I've got my friend Hussein. We've got Camille. We have Salim as well. Again, we are not joined by James Ridley. He hasn't told us why. He hasn't told me why. But we miss him. We sorely miss him, and we hope he comes back. Sooner rather than later. But yes, Masin, you're absolutely right. It's changed, man. The background's changed. I've only been here for a short amount of time, so I haven't had the time to prepare everything yet. So everything's just white in my background. You know
Not
what I'm
bad.
saying? The camera quality has gone down a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm using a webcam instead of a camera. Not that I was using a camera. The lighting is off. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's not a good look at the moment, but we'll get there. Next week, inshallah, we'll have everything. We'll get some IKEA products. You know what I'm saying? Make all this look good and look better. But,
Well, there's some people here that don't even have a camera, so
there
just
you
be
go.
grateful that we have a camera on.
There you go.
There's always someone
on.
below you.
I think we're doing good.
But it should
Are you
be,
throwing shade, Muslim?
it should be, no, he's not throwing shade.
It's
I
coming. My one is being delivered. It's coming all the way from
By the way,
Antarctica.
I
It
just
better
drank
be
using
in
this. Sorry, I just drank using this bottle a few times. Make sure you blur out because we're not sponsored by the company.
Other water bottle companies are available, so you don't have to use that one there. But you know what? I might cut this part out because I don't know how long we've been going. But I do also just want to say that I don't know if you guys have noticed that amongst the white of the room, the red stands out. The red stands out.
What do you mean?
Don't see
Third
it.
in the Premier League, Champions
That was-
League next
That
year.
was smooth. I have to say.
We have the Carabao Cup already. We have the FA Cup next week. Some might say that we have the second best. We've had the second best season in the Prem this year, despite the fact that we're third. Despite the fact that a certain red wearing uniform team was top of the league for over 240 days, and yet next year we're both Champions League. We're both Champions League teams.
Weren't you guys struggling though?
Nope.
Really
We're
struggling?
here. We're here. We're here. We're playing Champions
Easy.
League.
Barely.
Barely. We're third. How can we be barely? We're third.
I
Anyway,
don't know, man.
that's
There was
it.
struggles in there.
There's
Anyway.
no struggle. Zero struggle involved. Anyway, people, let's get into the show. It's been a crazy week this week. I don't know if you guys have been glued to social media or to your local news station, but this week, I don't know what happened this week, but this week has been crazy. First and foremost, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the families and friends of Tina Turner. She passed away this week at the age of 83, if I'm not mistaken. She was an icon to a lot of people. Personally, me, I'm much too young for all of that. Outside of that, though, some of the headlines today that we're not going to discuss and didn't make it to the podcast today. Killer whales deliberately hitting boats off the coast of Spain and Portugal.
Nightmares.
Apparently, killer whales are deliberately, intentionally trying to sink boats, bro. They're just like, we're tired of you lot. Like, this is my space, this is my area, and you're all over. No, we're over. This over now. No, you're sinking. You're sinking now. I'm the apex predator in here, not you.
Get out of the
Boats
postcode.
or ships? Just boats.
Boats. Yeah.
That's insane. Wow.
There's a whole story behind it. We won't go into it though. Texas teens have been charged over fart spray prank that sickened fellow students and evacuated a school. Oh, do you guys remember those? Did you lot ever get those in your classrooms? The
What,
stink
fart
bombs.
spray?
The stink bombs.
Stink
Nah,
bombs, yeah. The one that
yeah,
you like
never.
open. It's like a packet. You open it and then it goes off. You gotta like
Well, you don't
mash it or
open
something.
Yeah, you don't open it. You leave it for someone to step on.
Oh, you
I
step on
never
it
saw
for
that.
it.
What?
Yeah, you
so,
had to like smash it or something.
so what we used to do, not me, because obviously I will never be into these childish things.
Of course.
What I've noticed that people did then was they would put it underneath the chair leg, so it wouldn't pop if you just leave it there. But as soon as someone sits down, it pops it. So yeah, they were charged over that. The British cycling governing body has banned transgender women from competing in female category. We'll just read that. We don't need to discuss it. I think we've had enough for a little bit.
Yeah.
A slightly sadder one. A father has died and 2 children have been injured after a hand grenade detonated in an Indiana home. Apparently, the grenade belonged to the grandfather, and it was I don't know. I didn't really look into it, but it's crazy headline to read.
Well,
And another headline that I saw on Twitter that kind of what do you call this? Went viral a little bit, went trending a little bit. Jenna Ortega, seen smoking a cigarette, has fans in an uproar. Do you guys know who Jenna Ortega is?
Yep.
Jenna Ortega, she was in Wednesday. That's her most popular role at the moment. She was in Wednesday. She was Wednesday in Wednesday. She's played the little sister in of the landlady in You season 2. She's a popular actress, and a lot of people has grown to like her very much because of her appearance, let's say. And yeah, she was caught. She was videoed having a cigarette, and now a lot of people are like, I liked you, but you smoke? That's kind of yucky. So that really had the people on Twitter on an uproar, apparently. There you go.
Damn.
Okay.
So these were some of the headlines that didn't make it to our stories today. But yeah, this week, I don't know what happened, but it happened. But moving on to the first story of the day, the headline reads, Nun's body exhumed 4 years after death, shows no signs of decay, sparks miracle claims. Initial thoughts, initial reactions to that headline. How do we feel about that?
So a nun,
A nun.
the body is just not decaying, but she's been dead for 4 years.
Yep. And
Interesting. I want to
allegedly,
know the science behind it.
she wasn't embalmed. There was no embalming. She was just buried. In her clothes, in her like nun uniform.
Wait, so how do they know?
But the main
they dig
question
her
that
up?
I have is like, why would they exhume her? Yeah, why would they dig her out?
Cool. So let's get into the story then. Hundreds of people have been flocking to the town 40 miles north of Kansas City to marvel at the well-preserved body of Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster, with many calling it a miracle in Missouri. So they dug up her body to move it beneath the altar in the Covenant's chapel, which is customary. So they wanted to move the location of her burial spot, essentially. And so in the process of exhuming her body, or digging up her coffin initially, what's the person's called? The one that deals with all that stuff. The expert said, you should prepare yourself to just see bones and all these things. There shouldn't really be anything else in there. But when they took out the coffin, one of the nuns, very cheekily, sort of was like wanted to just double check the inside of the coffin. So she opened the coffin to have a little sneak peek of the body, and she saw the socks of the nun intact, like with the foot in it. So I guess she opened the rest of the coffin and saw that the nun was still all the way like in good condition. Like you can still like see her, like her skin is still there and all that stuff. And really intact looking, almost like it was embalmed, but apparently she wasn't embalmed.
No, that's insane. I mean, I don't know if you would call that a miracle, but at the same time, there should be some kind of proof. Like, why would people believe that she wasn't embalmed?
Especially since embalming is such a common like practice amongst like non-Muslims. Like it's, unless you're cremated, like most of the time when people get like have a funeral and stuff like that, they do get embalmed. Like it's normally just part of the process anyway. So, but people have people have like just believed that it wasn't embalmed anyway. And so a lot of people have been going over now to this thing, because what they've done now is they've displayed her. They've displayed her body. Like it's just now out for display and out for people to have a look at. And I don't think it's inside anything actually. Like you can just sort of you can touch her if you want, I think. So
yeah, no, I can see people touching her, which is something I wouldn't really recommend, because someone could be bringing mad germs and whatnot
and
to a
diseases
dead
and
body.
stuff like
That's like
this.
a fragile. That's very fragile. But that's insane, man.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing here. Where is it? It's believed, I don't know who believes this, but it's believed that a preserved body, unaffected by natural process of decomposition, is a mark of holiness. But it does not necessarily make a person a candidate for sainthood. So I don't know if they're saying that that's a Roman Catholic Church belief, but apparently, according to Roman Catholic Church, there have been a lot of cases of people's bodies not decomposing, and they sort of just go, "Oh, that must be because um like it's a miracle one, and that you're now a saint, I guess."
Hmm.
I mean, looking at the picture, it looks more like a bronze statue than a human body for some reason, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very clean. Like it looks
It's very
very like,
shiny. Yeah.
yeah, shiny. Like it looks. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the science behind this.
I mean, Islamically, we do believe the people that call for prayer, that the worms do not eat their body and their body does not decay. And something to do also with the Sahaba and the prophets. Like some people are some people are chosen to not decay and deteriorate.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
But Allahu Alam with the obviously
Right.
Christian.
So yeah, is
Oh, I was muted. I was gonna say I wonder if this is something that was that's been what's the word like documented in history, but because this must have happened before, and I think it's probably happened in recent history because we've had cameras and stuff for like a good few years now. It must have happened at some point whilst we had cameras, we were able to take pictures and so on. So I wonder if there's any documentation or any records of that.
I don't know about cameras or pictures or that type of record. But yeah, like I said, the Roman Catholic Church, they have recorded, well, at least they have written down that there's been a lot of, like, hundreds, they've said, a lot of people that, I don't know why they're just randomly digging up bodies too. How, like, what's caused you to dig up over 100 bodies?
I mean, it happens a lot recently, especially in Saudi too. They after a couple of years, they dig up the bodies, and so it's just making space for more dead people.
Are you supposed to do that though? Can you do that?
That doesn't sound right.
I mean, it does not sound
You
right,
should
but
not really disturb a
Yeah.
body.
it
Like
is
do that.
happening with the amount of people are dying nowadays. You know, we overpopulated. Also, what's it called? They did have occasions where they dug a body and they found the body fully intact, and they just left that body there, and then they marked the grave as in, "Do not dig this ever."
That's crazy. I don't know, man. Like, do you guys put any credence? Do you put any not credence? What's the word I'm looking for here? Do you think that there's any
Credibility?
yeah, to the idea that this is like a miracle that this has happened? Or do you think something's happened there? Like, she was probably embalmed.
My first initial reaction is that it can't be real. It's
Yeah.
some sort of hoax or
Yeah.
yeah, just something to get attention. But I don't know. Could be.
You
Could be.
just never know sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things. Like it could be that they were preserved, and it was like a godly preservation. Who knows?
But in if we talking about body preservation, if we look into like Buddhism, some of these monks practice certain techniques to actually preserve their bodies. They eat less and they do techniques.
Mm,
It's a way where you're preserving your body while you're still
yeah,
alive. Um,
Mm.
I've seen
Recently, it
that. Yeah.
happened to. I mean, it happens a lot, but there was a guy. I mean, they said he wasn't really doing it, but I don't know. He didn't really say it. But I don't know if you saw his pictures, but he looked like his body was really
I haven't
he
seen
looked
it.
dead, but he wasn't dead. He was like alive. It's
I
it's
think
insane.
I
So
think I
yeah,
have seen it. Yeah, he's super skinny, and he does
yeah,
look like a dead person. But basically, he's just. I think he basically wasn't eating any food. Or the food that he was
yeah.
eating was like it was just to preserve him. It wasn't
Very
to
minimal. Yeah.
to like stay alive. And he was drinking some stuff as well, like some I don't know what it was, but maybe I don't know some flower
But
juice or something.
I don't know if it's in Buddhism, but isn't there also a thing where they sit down or they strike in the pose that they want to be buried in, or not buried in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
they for example, if they want to sit down a certain way, like they sit down in that way so that they die in that way, and then
Yeah.
that's how they're gonna be like buried or whatever. I don't know if it's buried, but that's how they're gonna be preserved for
Mm.
the
Yeah. Yeah. No, last year there was a statue that was found, and they thought it was a normal statue that someone, crafted,
yeah
sorry, made. But
yeah
recently they X-rayed it and they saw that there were bones in there.
yeah it was like a real
And
human. Yeah
yeah, and they realized it was actually a monk who,
yeah
died in that pose, which is
they
insane, bro.
apparently they want to, if I remember correctly, it's because they want to, they I feel like they, it was something to do with like they want to leave Earth in a position of worship or something like this.
Hmm.
I think if I remember correctly, that was the
But that's
reasoning behind it.
that's that's intense commitment, bro. Imagine spending years in one position, and just practicing that way, and then eventually when you die, you're comfortable enough to stay in that position for so long.
But we're told to do that as well in a way, like in like Islamically, where I think it's said like the way that you die is the way that you will be like brought in front of Allah, in front of God. So if you die and you're like clubbing, like that's how you'll be brought up. If
But
you
that's
die whilst you're in sujood, that's why so many people are like, I want to die while my head is on the floor, while I'm praying to God, or while I'm reading the Quran, or while I'm doing something like righteous.
but that's
So
slightly different though. It's slightly different because if you, for example, pass away whilst in sujud, for example, let's say, like when you get buried, you're gonna be like this still
yeah,
and wrapped in cloth. You're not
yeah.
you're not dead like just because you've just done that the entire time. These people are like, bro, like their legs are cross sat down and like this the entire time, bro. Until they just pass away. Like, and like Hussein said, like until to the point where it just looks like they're like statues. That's crazy. Well, let me not say crazy, but that's wild.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we know some of these Buddhists and some of these monks, especially anyway, to be really, really disciplined people anyway.
Yeah.
Even though did you guys see there was a there was a viral video that came out, I think either last month or 2 months ago, of a monk, like I'm gonna say the word, but it's a really cringe word. Sucking a little boy's tongue. Have you seen it?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, oh yeah. I
yeah.
think I know who he is as well. I might have forgotten his
It
name.
was horrible. The Dalai
Wait,
Lama,
did
wasn't
he
it? The Dalai
actually do it?
Lama.
Dalai
Or
Lama, yeah. So
didn't he
yeah,
just ask to do it? Did he actually do it?
I think he did it.
He did it, yeah.
I think he told the
he
boy
did
to.
apologize for it at the end, but
So that's
bro, he's what do you call it? Well, when they say your thoughts, he couldn't overpower his thoughts or something. I don't know. I forgot the phrase. What's the phrase?
intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, yes, his intrusive thoughts won over it.
But intrusive thought is like, I wonder what would happen if I dropped my phone from this bridge, and then you dropped your phone. It's not like, I wonder what this little boy's tongue tastes like. Hey, can you stick out your tongue?
But it'll still be one of those things, right? Like you're just walking in the street, like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I kicked this child. Like it's just like I'm not gonna do it, but it's
But he
just
did
something
it.
that comes to mind.
He did it.
Yeah.
God did. He did it, bro. Oh my goodness. I can't believe he didn't catch more flack for that. I'll be so honest.
Yeah, that's gone now. Like people have just forgotten about it.
Yeah, like for the amount of things that some of the stuff that we get for our religion and the way it gets overblown, like for that to just kind of just overblow, people just call him nasty for like a day and then that's it. It's over. Khalas. New thing now.
Yeah, imagine Muhammad Abdul Hakim
Oh,
just went out and was like, "Hey, can I suck your tongue?" And a child put their tongue out, and he did it. Like, oh my goodness,
bro.
man.
Well, that's kind of already happened though. I don't want to serious this out, but like there have been sort of people that make the case of especially in the UK, for example, that citizens of the UK don't really care about um, um, child abuse and stuff until brown people do it, essentially. Until they, because you've seen those like those the newspapers and stuff like that where they've like uncovered or they've arrested multiple brown people for child abuse and all these type of things. And then all of a sudden it gets blamed on the Muslims and stuff like that, or this is what your religion teaches you. And then people are just like, no, this happens all the time. You just happen to catch people that are brown this time. And you only care about this now because it's brown people this time.
Yeah, and it's not even that
Brown
they're
Muslim.
Muslims.
Yeah.
They're just brown, and they may happen to have maybe Arab names, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that they are actually Muslims. You know?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I hope for the sake of this body that it gets buried now, just to go like they've kind of just left it up in the air now. Like it's just there, it's just exposed, and everyone, like I said earlier, everyone can just sort of touch it, see it, smell it. Like bury it, man. Have respect, because this lady apparently is like some like really like Lancaster, when she was 70, founded the Benedictine Sisters of Mary, Queen of the Apostles. Like she was like she's like a really like important person in her community, and you guys are just disrespecting her body, having it on display rather than allowing it to rest in peace. In my opinion, I think it's a disrespect because you've considered it to be a miracle. You think that now justifies you to possibly, I'm not saying it was, but possibly go against her wishes of just being laid to rest peacefully. And here you
There
are.
is no honor. There is no honor.
Here you are. And I don't, I'm gonna make this is purely speculation. I'm not saying this is what they're doing or this is what's happened, but how many of those people, or how many of the visitors go in there and then make donations to the church? Like how much of that, how much of you displaying her like it's and using your church as a museum, how much of that is you saying, well, we're getting a lot of money for the church right now too, so let's just keep it on display.
I wonder if they've got a gift shop on the way out.
A little like keychain of this. Oh, stuff.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Anyway,
Of the church. Of the church.
Anyway. Let's move on to the second of stories, still maintaining the theme of the Bible. The headline reads...
How do you say it like that? The Bible.
The Bible. The headline reads, North Korea toddler, parents jailed for life after being caught with Bible. So a North Korean toddler and its parents were jailed for life after being caught with a Bible. So
Wait. The toddler was also jailed.
for life.
The toddler was jailed for
life. For life. With the parents. After being caught with the Bible. I don't know. Hussein, are you saying something? You might be muted. Is he muted?
I think so. I think he's muted. But the the jail of North Korea is much more different than the jails that we have
Oh, a million
in every
percent.
other country. There
That's an interesting point, actually. Yeah.
is a full labor jail until you die. That's for life jail in North Korea.
And torture is not illegal, I don't think.
In North Korea now.
Yeah. So anyway, a 2-year-old North Korean 2-year-old was sentenced to life in prison after officials found a Bible in the toddler's parents' possession. So, according to the new International Religious Freedom Report by the US State Department, as many as 70,000 Christians are imprisoned in North Korea, um, are currently imprisoned in North Korea. The report highlighted the 2009 imprisonment of a family based on their religious practices and parents' possession of the Bible. The entire family, including a 2-year-old infant, was sentenced to life in prison camps. A 2-year-old, brother, knows
Yeah, that's
nothing,
harsh.
knows nothing about Jesus, knows nothing about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, knows nothing about anyone. Doesn't even know the name of its parents.
I can't wrap my head around that. And you know what, like when Salim was saying before, he was like, oh, it's not like us. I was like, oh, that's a good point. You know what? Like I'm thinking about, you go to prison and like you get bad food and you're locked away. Yeah, maybe it's different over there. It's a good prison. And then he says you guys start talking about other things. I'm like, okay. I don't understand how that would work. If if the parents are so bad in being an influence to this child who's the next generation of the country, wouldn't it be better to take the child away and just put them in like a home or something so they can be brainwashed into actually believing what is correct rather than put them in prison with their parents
No, but generally, the
for the
North Korea
country from
have
their perspective?
they have laws where it's like if you disrespect the president of North Korea in
Oh, it's
any
over.
way,
It's over for you.
it's you're not the only one who's going to be prosecuted. It's also
Right.
your family, and if they you also have relatives. But
Mm.
also in terms of like religion, because Christianity is illegal there, I
It's not.
believe.
It's not. So
Mm,
So
on paper, North Korea does allow the practice of religion, of other
right.
religions, on paper. But
wait, when you say other, what is their main religion?
I don't know what their religion is.
The main religion is worshiping the great leader.
But I think
Okay.
there are a lot of like shamans um in North Korea. Christians I think is the next biggest one, and then there's a couple other stuff as well. I don't know what they're called. Begins with like C. But yeah, I don't. On paper, they do allow for the practice and the expression of religion, but apparently in practice it doesn't work. A lot of people
So
do get imprisoned and tortured for it.
according to state.gov, it says, according to religious characteristics, in 2015, population was 70.9% atheists in North Korea, 11% Buddhist, and 1.7% followers of other religions.
Mm.
Yes, and it says the Christian population's about between 200,000 to 400,000.
It's
That's
crazy.
the thing. You cannot get any statistics from North
Nothing.
Korea. Yeah. And so far from the books that I have read, which is only two books, you are not allowed any other religion. And also, when the people that live in North Korea go to the shaman, they go in like early morning
Mm.
before, any government officials,
See them.
yeah, start guarding properly.
Mm.
So yeah, but all that I know is worshiping the great leader and his family and pray to them for rain, for wealth, for everything, pretty much.
I thought you were joking. Are that was serious?
Oh yeah, 100%. Don't you know,
Oh yeah, bro.
bro?
You can't put. Go ahead.
Sorry, there's a thing. Every single household in North Korea has a portrait or portraits of all the leaders that they've ever had, including like his dad and all these things. So Kim Jong Un and Kim Jong Il, they have portraits of them in the house. If your house is catches fire, you have to take those portraits first before anyone or anything else. So if you're a father, for
Does
example,
that include my cat and my kid?
yes,
Subhanallah.
you have to protect those portraits first before anyone and anything else. Either get them out the house, or you have to take them. Apparently, take them and then put them like on your belly, and then just crouch like in a fetal position, and then you have to protect it from the fire, and until you yourself burn up. And apparently, if you do that, that is one of the most honorable way to die in North Korea. Is burning
Protecting
to
a
burning
paper.
to death or dying, whilst holding the portraits and protecting the portraits from
Wow.
harm.
And then you have next door where they have samurais, where it's like you cut your belly open if you dishonor
Next door.
your family. Yo, like
Seppuku. Yeah, I don't, bro. It's serious out there, bro. There's a
It's really serious.
you guys should
I
you
didn't know the extent
oh,
of.
it's serious.
Also, like I'm very aware that a lot of this is probably like propaganda from the West and stuff. So like I want to take it with a pinch of salt. But
No,
it's scary that
No,
no, these
I
are
read two books.
stories from the what do they call them? The
Defectors.
defectors of North Korea. There's a really popular one. You probably seen it. The lady.
Oh yeah.
There's a lady. She
Oh.
goes around podcasts and stuff like this and talks about the stories of like the stuff that you have to do in North Korea and all these type of things. It's real, bro. It's crazy over there.
What is it called? The worst part about it is actually hygiene. There is inspection every week to these pictures, and they come with a
Oh,
like a white clean glove, and they move their
yeah,
hand around it. If there's a little bit of dust, y- you're gone, brother.
gonna.
So
Yeah,
the
bro.
famous defector, her name is Yeonmi Park.
Yeonmi Park. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
she's pretty
crazy.
famous.
She talks about she's told the story of like if you want to use an international phone, or I don't think they have phones over there in general, but if you want to
It
use
has
like
to be smuggled.
it has to be smuggled from China, and then if you want to use it, you have to go all the way to the mountains, and then you can only use it for 30 seconds before you have to move to a different place in the mountains if you want to keep using it. You have to keep going and going so that they can't track you and all these things. It's crazy, bro. Is oh, I don't even. Would you rather spend 10 days in the jail here, in the prison here in the United States, or 6 months in North Korea?
I would love to go to North Korea.
No.
I would love
I,
to experience
no,
that
I will spend
firsthand.
10 years
As a
in the
black Muslim
US.
person, never.
Yeah, that would be an experience that I would take with me for the rest of my life, however long I live.
Actually,
I
with
don't think
your
you'll live
height, I
very
think
long.
you're gonna. No, I think with his height, it's gonna survive. For some reason, Kim Jong Un likes black men. That are
That's
tall.
true, you know.
Every basketball player.
He's friends with Dennis Rodman, the basketball player.
Yeah,
He likes tall black men, yeah?
he likes tall black men, man. Especially Dennis Rodman.
Okay. Does he would he pay me for any like services or anything?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You just need to show him how to hoop. But do you think you're a good?
Can you hoop?
Can he alley hoop?
I mean, I can in games.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And the
that's
good,
it, really.
but the good thing is though is that North Korea, we can talk about them really because they'll never hit us. There's none of these social media things exist over there. None of this
Oh, yeah,
exists
no, I
over there,
agree,
so
bro.
we can talk about them as much as we
Actually,
want.
so going back to the alley oop,
Struggling with gas.
I did alley oop once. I was doing with my cousins in Australia, and we were doing like alley oops. We'd like passing to each other and like doing it. And then one of my cousins passed to me, and then I tripped and I sprained my ankle. And it's
Oof.
so
Yeah,
the answer,
no, that's the worst.
is, yeah, I'll let you figure it out from
It's a
there.
resounding no.
And
Just
that ankle still gives me issues for today.
one thing. There is apparently a rich neighborhood in North Korea where like government officials are there and they do have access to
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
TVs,
yeah.
computers, and yeah, so they do have access to this stuff, but
And
not
girls.
the
But
full.
it's only government officials, like or like super rich people. But it's the general public doesn't have access to any of this.
Oh, they'll
No,
be
they
lucky
don't.
if they get gas, bro. Let alone water.
Electricity is a big thing, bro.
There's people that are happy to live there. There must be people that are happy to live there. They're enjoying their lives.
Yeah,
Like in the
brainwashed
same way.
human being.
No, but like the way that we're talking about like North Korea as brainwashed human beings, people could look at the Muslim world and be like, "Oh, these women, they're so oppressed over there. They don't get to do this. They don't get to do that. Men treat them like this." And then you see like people talking about lots of different things that like they can have 4 wives. Oh my goodness, how could they do that? And they're talking about all these things, right? But it's just like it's our culture. Is that like everyone has different culture and everyone's living their culture. If people are happy living that culture, then who are we to judge
It's not a culture
when
though,
we don't
bro.
know?
The difference is that the difference is that the people even in Saudi have the ability to choose still. If the women of Saudi really did feel oppressed, they can leave. It's possible. They can leave. You can't leave North Korea, bro. You
Uh,
can't.
yeah, one point is what Muhsin said is right. I've seen like through the end of one of the books, some defectors actually that left the country, they literally regretted leaving, and some of them actually went back into it. And yeah, it does culture does influence it. Even though you have no electricity for days, no water, no gas, some people actually went back because they felt the way that being enslaved in this society. Some people came, like left North Korea to South Korea, and they started working after like the schooling and everything. They started working and they're like 8 to 8 shifts, and they're like, this is not the life. And they literally just went back.
I think that's oh, what is it called? Oh, it's something syndrome. Oh, I forgot what it's called. But it's that thing where if you it's that thing where when someone gets kidnapped or abducted and they spend enough time with their abductor, they then feel remorse and love for their abductor. It's like I forgot what it's called though. It's something syndrome. Um yeah,
It's mostly more known with like
Stockholm,
psychopaths.
Stockholm.
Stockholm syndrome. I think
What do
that's
you call it?
Stockholm
Serial
syndrome.
killers and whatnot.
Yeah, I
So they've
think
been brainwashed
they've been
to
yeah,
different dimension.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like, had they not been exposed to that, would they have chosen that?
Yeah, no, especially women. I don't know about men, but mostly happen to women to where they experience that and they see that how exciting it is for them, and eventually they just fall in love. And I don't know if a man would go back, man. It just doesn't make sense for a male to go back there. Maybe women have it easy there. You never know. But for a male, I don't see it that easy at all.
Is Kim Jong Un able to just take any woman he wants?
I kind of agree. Yeah. Kim Jong Un has. a whole company that provide them with women of all kinds, all shape, whatnot.
Apparently, there is like from one of the books that I read, some girls will get picked at at the age after they reach a certain age to become like performance, you know,
For
It's
and
him.
like the army.
these performance will get access to a high stated status,
Mm,
and so yeah, I think that's the build up to it, you know.
okay. Anyway, I don't want to drag it too much, but yeah, there you guys, there you go, guys. That's our take on North Korea. Um, um, good luck to the people over there, man. Good luck to the people
No,
for
I
over
wish
there.
them. I wish
If you
them
don't
well,
want to
man.
be there, I hope you can find a way to get out of there. Um, and if you want to be there, then enjoy your time.
And you do you, man. You do you.
Enjoy your time. Have a blast. Have a cigarette in the, as well. Why not? Take it. Do everything you want to do. Speaking of governments, we're gonna stay on the. Oh, see how everything's just threaded today. Staying on the government.
Smooth.
Headline for the third story: Fact Focus. Fake image of Pentagon explosion briefly sends jitters through stock market. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see the picture? On
Mm-mm.
so there was a picture of a building with like black smoke coming out of it, and the claim was that it was a building next to the Pentagon had exploded. And
I heard that a chocolate factory exploded. I don't know if that's the same one.
but I'm not sure, but there was a building allegedly that had exploded next to the Pentagon. And one of the main reasons that it went viral was because of like certain trusted news outlets on Twitter immediately reported on this, and even posted the picture as well that was going around. You know, outlets like RT News, and Bloomberg. Bloomberg was another one, and Bloomberg is the key one. But it turned out that the image was AI generated, and the whole thing wasn't real. There was never any explosion of the Pentagon, in the Pentagon, near the Pentagon, nothing. Um, and so
That's insane, bro. You
and it
don't
was
understand how big that is.
exactly, and that's what I'm about to get to. And it was such a huge news, and the reason I say Bloomberg was the key one because Bloomberg is known for their business news and like stock market news and stuff like this. It was such a huge news that when they tweeted that, the S&P 500 dropped 0.3%. It's not a lot, but it dropped. And then a couple things in the stock market dropped as well, because of that news, because people were so fearful of what had happened. So, you know, they sold their stocks and whatnot. And then other investments also moved in ways that typically occur when fear enters the market. The prices for the US Treasury bonds and gold, for example, briefly began to climb, suggesting investors were looking for someplace safer to park their money. So everyone was just like, "All right, we got to invest in the Treasury bonds and gold because the Pentagon
Yeah,
just exploded. So we need to be safer with our money."
that's insane. That means like people thought something bad was about to start, so they started protecting their assets.
Yeah.
But that also tells you how the dollar is unprotected, and any second it could just just go down the drain.
That's not the takeaway for me here. Well, let me hear what you guys' takeaway from this as well, though. Like hearing that news, how do you
Yeah.
guys
Um,
process that?
First thing I
You go
think
first,
about is I think AI played a huge
Mm-hmm.
role in this,
Mm-hmm.
as it is expected.
Mm-hmm.
But also, just like we spoke last week when we said how Congress needs to start regulating these
Mm.
the uses of the AI in public. You can't just, a person, decides to write something and the AI just generates it that easy.
Mm.
But again, this happens all the time where people always try and find ways to manipulate the stock market to make quick cash. Now, if someone, invests £10, it's not a huge profit. But when millions are involved, or billions at this time, your profits are gonna be huge. So I believe,
Huge.
yeah, no, this is a huge game, bro, and someone will have to be, someone has to answer for this.
I agree. Listen.
I think the obvious thing for me is like AI that people are going to be talking about. AI is dangerous. Oh, we need to put shackles on AI. Let's put it away. Look what it's done. Like look at the outrageous cause. And this this could be a precursor for things to come. Which is I think what a lot of people are going to be thinking. Yeah, but I think it's a very good point. That like not to be scared but to be cautious. I don't think we should act in fear, but I think we should act in we need to be smart about our way, like how we move forward. Because if something like this was able to have an effect on the economy, like, and it was just a person or people, organization, whatever it was, who put this out there, they were successful in whatever they wanted to do. Maybe that's what they wanted, maybe it's not. But like, yeah, they've been able to make massive change in the economy. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think we do need to be very careful. Not scared, but it's just kind of like a wake up call. Like, by the way, look at what's just happened. Let's take this seriously.
Listen, guys. Listen to me very, very, very carefully. I think that this was a proof of concept. I told you from many, many, many episodes ago, episode 2, episode 3, if these big companies wanted to cause chaos, they can cause chaos. And I think that this was a proof of concept. I'll tell you why. So, Chirag Shah, co-director of the Center for Responsibility in AI Systems and Experience at the University of Washington in Seattle, cautioned that spotting fakes won't always be as obvious. Society will need to learn more on crowdsourcing and community vigilance to weed out bad information and arrive at the truth as AI technology improves, he argued. He says this off of the back of the reason that this didn't cause more impact on the market, for example, was because very quickly people were able to see that it was fake. That the image was clearly AI generated. Like certain things about the picture just wasn't correct. I think that this was a proof of concept for when AI are able to generate better and better images in the future. I think now that these hedge fund people and these market people and these super, super duper rich people are like, oh, we can do this. Look what happened with terrible AI. Imagine what we can do with great AI without even having to physically manipulate the world. Before, they had to actually bomb places in order to create this reaction from the market. Now they just have to type words to create pictures and to manipulate the market. Bro, I think this was a proof of concept. I think this is a conspiracy theory. I think this was done by super duper rich people in the background just to test the waters and see what they can get away with AI.
Man, that's if there is such a thing as the Illuminati. People talk about what's that family?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, yeah. If there's some strings being pulled in the background, and they're doing all this stuff, like they've just been given another tool after everything they've already been doing, if they have been doing anything, any of these other organizations that's in the background pulling strings. If you believe that any of that is true, man, they've just been given
More, yeah. They just
Oh,
have,
just more ammo to do like they already have control. If you believe that they
yeah.
have control,
They
they are
no,
already
bro,
in control.
There's the idea of an Illuminati might be fake. That can be a conspiracy. I can agree with that. But the fact that there are rich families controlling the world, that's a fact already, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's a fact. I
Yeah, it's
like,
possible.
bro, like 0.001% controlling the world makes sense to me, bro. Because it doesn't take much to control the world, as we can see here. All it takes is a couple whispers to this leader, a couple whispers to this leader, and then a few bombs in this place and a few bombs that way. Bro, to a trillionaire, what is a nuclear, bro? Like, what's a rocket launcher? It's like me buying chewing gum.
Yeah.
Or not
Wow.
even a chewing gum. It's like me buying a piece of hubba hubba from you. Like that cheap. Like, here's 5p, give me something. Like that, bro. Like, what? Nah, man. I think, yeah. Like I've said before, and I'll continue to say, if these big companies wanted to cause chaos, they can, man. They can. And I think they have. I think this was one of the ways that they've created chaos.
Yeah. No, I think there should be ways where people are shown the same way we're learning in school how to read a book or how to write and how and whatnot. We should also be taught how to recognize the difference between fake news and real news because
I agree.
this is not the first time. This has been going on for so many years. Like even way before um Facebook and TikTok and whatnot.
I agree.
So I think we should be taught from young age to recognize the difference. Now,
This
I
is
agree.
bro, big news companies were fooled as well with this picture. It's
Yeah.
insane.
And
yeah.
sorry, just to write,
Well,
just on the piggyback of that, AI is gonna be the scam for our generation. By the way, you know how phone calls are are the scams for our parents. AI is gonna be the scams for us when we grow up, because it's gonna go to, you know how we look at like the older people in our society, like, I can't believe you guys fall for that email stuff. I can't believe you guys fall for that, this, that, and the other. The children below us are gonna be like, I can't believe you fall for this AI stuff.
Yeah,
AI is gonna be, bro, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
yeah.
I
I was
can
gonna say
see that happening.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree with with what both of you are saying. Hussein, I agree with you as well. It's like there's yeah, this is gonna be one of those things that they talk about, like that, like you know how nowadays people are like, oh, you know, they don't teach me anything useful in school. They don't teach me how to do taxes. They don't
Mm.
teach me how to pay bills. They don't,
Mm.
and then they're gonna add on to that. They don't teach me about AI.
Mm.
Like I feel like that's gonna be one of those things that's added onto that. I hope not. But it's yeah, man. Like it's oh man. I wonder where we're gonna go and what's gonna happen. Because this now, like the more and more things happen, the more real it feels. Like I'm sure there was a point before where people were like, you know, they heard about people online like talking to kids, and they're like, whatever, you know,
Mm.
they can't actually do anything. And then they found out that people were actually meeting kids outside, and things were happening to these kids, and they're like, man, we need to take this seriously. And there were
Yeah.
campaigns, and there
Yeah.
still are campaigns for that kind of thing, but people are kind of made aware of that now.
Mm.
I'm sure we're going to have something in the future to make parents aware of the dangers of AI, but
Yeah.
also to just make, there's more than just parents, because like with an adult, it's likely that you're not going to fall for these things. Some adults do, you know, there's scams, you know, the Nigerian prince scam and
Yeah. Yeah.
those
Yeah.
kind of things, right? But there's also, you know, things that we can fall for, when it comes to, you know, clicking a link or something, and
Yeah.
you know, or like simple things like that, right? But like this is going to be one of those things where anyone can fall for it,
Yeah.
and we really need to be educated from a like as soon as possible. We need to educate ourselves, because this is going to be a thing. We are probably going to fall for something. Someone's going to send us a message, It's gonna be like someone we think we know, and then hey,
Scam.
imagine
Yeah.
scammers can contact. Imagine a scammer contacted you and said, "Hey, I'm Musin," and they have my picture, and it's a picture. I don't know. It's like,
No, I know what you're
and
saying. I know what you're saying.
you know, they've read my messages
Very
somehow, so
realistic
they know
somehow.
exactly
'Cause
how I talk and all of that.
it's not just how you talk, but like, you know, your voice as well. They can, you know, because you've got the voice changes now as well. That's very
Yeah, send a
realistic.
voice message. Yo, bro, how you doing? I hope things are good.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
let me
yeah.
stop there in case they start recording this podcast.
No, but
'Cause,
yeah,
you know,
100%, 100%. It's certainly a caution and worry, and that's one of the reasons why I like what Twitter is doing as well. You know, for Twitter, it's a lot of things. There's a lot of controversy going around with Twitter right now, especially with the ownership of under the ownership of Elon Musk. But one of the good things that they've done there is that because Twitter is such a heavy news type social media platform, is when a certain news starts to get traction and trending, there's a little thing that will go underneath it that will say whether or not this news story is false or fact. It's like, by the way, this news story is not true, and this is actually
Wow.
what happened. And so I like that. I really like that. And you can only assume that technology in of itself will become smarter and smarter as well. Hopefully, it gets smarter with the intelligence, the growing intelligence of AI and bad AI. So yeah, man,
inshallah.
stay
Interesting conversation.
stay educated, people, man. Stay educated. Stay up to date with the AI stuff. Like I know it, like that might come from a position of privilege as well to tell people to stay updated because they might not have the capacity to do that. Like they're so busy with life and the rat race of life of having to do certain things. But in small little ways, if you can find time to do that, it would benefit you largely in the future.
If you have
And
time
for
to
the show.
watch this podcast,
Yeah,
you have
100%,
time to
100%
search after the podcast.
after
After
the
you finish
podcast.
the entire thing, go do your research.
And speaking of the entire thing, we're rounding out Florida man news time. Florida man
Ooh-wee.
news time.
Here we go.
I just read the headline again. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, there was a bit of a I don't know, not as much enthusiasm as the other ones. I feel like something's coming that
Here we go, look. Florida man dressed in cat costume accused of stabbing roommate's neck.
I'm sorry to laugh, but wasn't the last one the last one you had as well, like a one that we shouldn't have laughed at, but it was a bit what?
Wait, hold on. What happened to my audio? I can't hear anyone. Oh no. One second. Let me cut out all of this. I can't hear no one. Oh man. Oh, that's so funny.
It's absolutely just dumb. Like what a
Oh, I can't hear
why
no
was it
one. I
worded
don't
like
hear
that? It makes
audio.
no
Why don't
sense.
I hear audio?
This guy keeps interrupting me. I'm trying to do this is your podcast. I'm trying to keep it alive. If you could just like just stop talking and just let me continue, yeah? Is that all right?
I think you need to sign for him. Make a sign. Do you know how to
All right,
speak?
cool. Okay. Yeah, guys. So what are your thoughts?
Wait, did he even say the title of the Florida man?
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah, he
title?
did.
The title was Florida Man dressed in cat costume stabs roommate's neck. I think I did a pretty good job remembering that. See,
But this kind of it reminds me of like how cats actually act. They'd be using the
That's
claws.
why I laughed.
Oh,
So what, you're thinking it's roleplay?
Uh,
That went too far.
it
Oh
could be
no.
happened where a guy was showing his sister how to use the gun, and then he accidentally shot her in the stomach, and she died.
Oh,
Sorry.
wait.
So
You come back alive. Wait, what's going on?
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And we're back. And we're back. And we're back.
We've been back.
We're back.
Yeah,
We're
you were
back,
just
yeah.
talking over me as I was going. But anyway,
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
But that's like context is so needed in this situation because in
Oh,
my
yeah.
head, like what went through my head was cat costume, and you know, I don't know if you guys know, Super Mario Galaxy, the cat costume that he wears. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
No idea, man.
No.
No one knows.
No.
I'm sure it's Galaxy. It's like a yellow cat costume. But yeah, I was imagining that like a yellow cat costume, and then I imagined you said stab. I'm thinking of a knife, but then my brain immediately just went to a claw for some reason. Like he's got like a claw. He just stabbed the guy in the neck. But yeah, give us the context. What's going on?
So, Florida man, 32-year-old Omar Gutierrez, is behind bars on a $1 million bond after authorities said he stabbed his roommate in the neck while dressed as a cat.
Can we take this seriously, please? How is the roommate?
He's fine. Deputies were called to a home in northwest Gainesville Tuesday evening, where a man called 911 to report that his roommate had stabbed him in the neck. When the officers arrived, they forced their way into the home where they found the victim seriously bleeding from the neck. Minutes later, Omar, dressed tip to tail in a cat costume, came out with his hands up. The sheriff's office said Gutierrez was charged with attempted murder. That's it. That's the story.
Wait, so he stabbed him and then he dressed as a cat?
No. No, they don't say. He stabbed him dressed as a cat. I think. I don't know. They don't say.
That's important information.
They don't say. So the
I
victim
guess meow question mark.
So the victim, after being stabbed, called 911 themselves, to say that they've been stabbed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if I stabbed, I don't know why he was still in the house. If I stabbed someone, I would have made a beeline out of there.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Or should I say, a feline out of there?
No. So we don't know any more about the story. So
A feline.
we don't know why he stayed. Maybe the stabbing was an accident. But yeah.
Does it said in the neck, right? Or what did it
Yeah,
say?
he was neck.
That's mad.
He was charged with attempted murder. That's the charge. Attempted murder. Attempted murder means intent to kill, by the way. So
And requested 1 million for it. I guess.
bond, yeah.
Bond. Yeah, crazy, man.
Florida, bro. I don't know what's happening. You know when I googled Florida man news, yeah? It was a lot of stuff going on there. There was a man who lost his arm to a 12-foot alligator.
Yeah.
There was
Again?
there was a dog that got eaten by an alligator whilst he was being walked by a couple. There was and there's so many more. Some of them are like super depressing stuff. But yeah. Florida man dressed in cat costume. Because I have to know why he was in a cat costume. Were they in a
Roleplay gone wrong.
Was it in a role play? Are they furries? Maybe they're furries.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe it was a fetish thing, and maybe they're together, and something went wrong.
This is not probably not the same, but there was a guy who was in a hospital, and because of his condition, his doctor suggested that he stays overnight in the hospital. So they gave him a room with his own toilet, and then for some reason, he had an accident, and the toilet brush, you know, the brush that you use to clean the toilet, got stuck up his ass. And then the nurses came with him shouting and screaming, and they said, "What happened here?" He said, "Oh, I slipped from the toilet seat and I accidentally the toilet brush stuck on his ass." So this could be, you know, some things you can't tell the truth on.
So wait,
So
question. Was this in Florida?
I can't, yeah, I can't, I neither can
Um,
confirm or deny.
But statistics shows
Wait,
that
what do you mean neither confirm or deny? Is this
So
a
you-
personal experience?
No, it was actually,
oh my
I would say
days.
middle-aged man.
Oh my days.
Luckily, I'm
man.
not
Okay.
middle-aged here.
Bro, like, you know what, yeah? The Dunya'S really gone crazy, it's true, but the Dunya'S been crazy if you think about it. Because, you know, that story reminds me of some of the videos. I'm not even gonna describe the videos, but I'm just gonna say the word videos in a very suggestive way. Some of the videos that went viral when we were younger. Do you know the videos I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The
I
videos
think I do, yeah.
I'm not gonna describe them because people might search them, and I don't want you to search them because they're horrible, disgusting videos. But they've just been crazy.
Oh yeah, it's been great.
It's been
It
crazy.
just keeps getting crazier,
But
man.
it's just that's it right there. It just keeps getting crazier. So you know what? I'm gonna write a little note. We're gonna hopefully they've updated this story for next week. Because
Oh,
I would
yeah.
love to hear more about
I
this
want to
story, man.
know why he was in that cat costume. Was he auditioning for Cat in the Hat? Like what was happening there? Like, were they on their way to a pajama party? Are they in a slumber party? I want to know. I have to know.
I think they were protected under the No Act 1980.
What? What?
As long as you say no homo, everything was alright.
Oh,
You can
man.
scratch, you can touch, you can look.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to our final
Uh,
news of the day. We're gonna end it with a happy one. Faith in humanity restored news. Faith in humanity restored news. Headline
my
reads:
favorite section.
The daughter surprises dad by being his kidney donor. So this one
Oh.
it is a wholesome news, and we love it, we appreciate it. But I do want to discuss it a little bit after I say this. So Delane Ivanovsky, a 25-year-old nurse at Mercy Hospital in St. Louis, donated her kidney to her dad John, who told his daughter for months that he did not want her to be his donor. So the dad was saying no, like he was being very insistent in no, I don't want you to be the donor. I don't want your kidney. I'll be on the wait list. John was diagnosed 2 years ago with IgA nephropathy, a type of kidney disease that can lead to kidney failure. The disease ultimately led John to be on dialysis for 4 to 5 hours, 4 days a week. A quality of life that his daughter said was not right for him. No one wants to see their parent have to go through that, especially when you can do something about it.
Yeah.
Delane said while her dad on dialysis, she made the decision to try to donate her kidney to him despite his opposition. So she ended up donating to him anonymously.
Wow.
She said that without her becoming a living donor for her dad, had she not donated that, it would have been possible that he would have been on that wait list for years.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm going to do it. I don't care how mad he is at me. I don't care if he kicks me out of the house or hates me or doesn't say a word to me for the rest of my life. At least he'll be living a good life and not hooked up to a machine. So according to the doctor, Jason Wellen, that, same thing. As she said, had she not done that, he could have been on the transplant wait list for several years, and so on and so on. Saying that there are over 100,000 people in the country right now waiting for the kidney transplant. So the reason why he didn't want her kidney is because a couple years back, he lost a son to cancer. And in the instance that she would have needed both kidneys because of a sickness, for example, he did not want to be the reason why she only had one.
Yeah.
So that was his entire reason of not wanting the kidney from her. How'd you get? It's a nice wholesome story, man. It's a nice wholesome story.
Do you know if he's like happy with it? Did they have any like report afterwards, or was it just that she donated?
There was a video of him like crying, like, "Oh, I can't believe you did that." But obviously they took a picture afterwards as well together. I don't think, at the end of the day, his life is saved now. He can see that his daughter was happy to do it, that type thing. So I think deep down he's okay with it. From the video anyway, he doesn't look angry or anything like this. So yeah. It's
like, you know what it reminds me of? The other day, I got some pizza, and me and my wife, we both had pizza, and we had like half the pizza, and there was 6 slices left, and I had one of the slices. So now the next day we have pizza, there's 5 slices, and obviously I already had my slice yesterday, so I have 2, she has 3. And I tell her, here are your 3 slices, these are for you. But in my head, I'm like, I'm bigger than you, like I really should. I'm going to work. I deserve this. I paid for the pizza. I deserve the slice. But in the end, I gave it to her. But yeah, she wasn't like the daughter. She didn't give me the pizza. But it's her pizza, so I can't really say anything.
You say that story, all I heard was my wife. This is just flex, bro. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just you just flex the entire time, and I'm not flexing, and then you're telling a story about you and your wife. No one wants to hear about you and your wife, bro. Not while we're single.
It's not flexing for me to. It's just a part of my life. I can't remove her.
Okay.
I admire your sacrifice, Mohsen, and
Thank you very much. I appreciate
the fairness going and never change it.
Thank you. I'm glad she got to have that slice there.
But just so you know, I'm giving my wife 1 slice.
100%. If I paid for the pizza, it's my pizza. You don't need. Also, like, come on now. You don't need that extra slice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying no comment right now.
No problem. People. That's a wrap. Episode 14. We are done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you made it all throughout this way and you still haven't liked the video, you are a waste man. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you've been commenting. Comment. Share the video, man. Share it on your social media and all these type of things. Share it on Facebook if you still have Facebook. Oh my God. I have 600 friends on Facebook and get 0 engagement on any of my posts. None of my friends see my posts, bro. I look at the thing. How many reach? 2 people. It's reached 2 people. I have 600 friends. It's reached 2 people. How long? Listen, people, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We hope to see you again next week. As you've been seeing actually on the YouTube channel, I have been releasing clips of the podcast and stuff like this. But it has been missing thumbnails because, like I said, I've been moving and all these type of things. So hopefully, inshallah, I'll be able to do more with the clips on this video. And hopefully I can go back to doing shorts. I do remember someone asking me on this panel if we had any recommendation for them to learn skills whilst whilst they have free time. I don't know if they ever managed to learn how to do. I suggested to be able to do short videos. Salem, did you ever manage to learn how to edit those videos? I don't think he ever did. So
Hello, hello. I was muted, sorry. I downloaded the programs and everything, and I watched a couple of videos, but the biggest problem right now is finding clips, to be honest.
okay. What program did you DaVinci?
DaVinci, yeah.
I said DaVinci because I was being extra. You can use CapCut, to be honest. That makes it a lot easier. It has everything. This is post-production stuff. People, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah. You can just do CapCut, bro. It's way easier. Way easier.